All right, guys, AJ Casada here, and today I'm going to walk you through the simplest cold email framework, which can also be used on LinkedIn and on other platforms, can even be repurposed into cold calls. A simple framework that has helped book thousands of qualified sales calls for me and my clients. Now, I've been in the outbound game for a while, right? And specifically in the cold email B2B lead gen game for the last 3 years now, actually almost 4 years, running this for clients, helping clients implement this in-house. And beyond helping clients, I've reviewed so many different cold email templates and campaigns, ones that are crushing it, ones that aren't, to help our clients and our community members improve their copy, right? So through all that, I really got a gist for what works, what doesn't, and what's also stood the test of time, because there's definitely templates and angles and campaigns that worked really well 3-4 years ago that don't work well anymore, right? So I'm excited to just walk you through what I've learned from this and give you a simple framework you can apply to every niche. Now also, this is not going to be a template, right? I am going to show you a template, but today I really wanted to show you more of a framework, right? So the difference between a framework and a template is a framework is something you can kind of apply to anything and you can make your own. A template is like an exact example email that you would just fill in the blanks with your niche and your offer for, right? Now templates are great too, don't get me wrong, but it's more important that you learn good frameworks for copywriting, right? Because then you can repeat it, right? Because the thing about a template is if you go on Google and you look up cold email templates, or you get a cold email template or a LinkedIn template from a big influencer, the thing is everyone else is going to be getting that too. They're all going to use it, and pretty soon it's not going to work because your prospects will have seen it over and over again, right? I see this happen all the time, right? I receive a really good cold email and I'm like, wow, this is cool. And then all of a sudden I see the same template over and over again in my inbox, right? Like recently I had this YouTube agency send me a really good cold email about how they could help grow my YouTube channel. And then all of a sudden, over the next few months, I started getting the same template over and over again, and then I just tuned it out, right? So that's the problem with a template, right? You might get some results for a short amount of time, but eventually it's not going to work anymore, right? And also, if you just get a cool template for your outreach, right? And the same goes for anything, right? For Facebook ads or anything, right? When you get a really good template, it might help you get results, but you're not actually learning it. You're not learning why that template works, which means you're not able to recreate that success the next time you launch another campaign or write a template of your own, right? So I am going to give you a template today so that you have something actionable, but more important to me is learning the framework so that you can understand the thinking behind it. And basically the way I can explain it is a framework is almost like the ingredients, right? Imagine you're baking a cake. A framework is the ingredients, right? In this case, it's the problem that you're reaching out about, the social proof, right? Those are the ingredients, like the egg, the milk, and the butter, right? A template is almost a finished cake that you can use, right? So yes, you can use it once, but it's not going to last very long. But when you understand the key ingredients to a good piece of copywriting, in this case, a cold email template, and you understand why they work and how they fit together, then you can make your own templates that stand out, that are unique, and then you have the thought process so that you can consistently, write great copy and launch new campaigns without having to rely on finding someone else's template, right? So that's the difference between a framework and a template. So that's why I really want to make this more about the actual framework and the 4 core ingredients every outreach template needs to get results. And then again, I will share a template and an example, but at least more important is that you actually know the thinking behind it and the principles, because then you can create something of your own that's very creative, very unique, and stands out, right? Now, really quick, if you're listening to this on the audio version of the podcast, I do actually have something I'm walking through here. So you can definitely still listen to it, but after listening to it, I would definitely go over to either my LinkedIn or my Facebook or my YouTube, where I actually recorded this in video form and you can actually see the framework and the template. But anyways, I'm still going to talk through it at a high level, so you'll still be able to enjoy it. That's why I'm posting it here, but definitely good to check out my socials after and actually get the template so you can, download it for yourself. But anyways, so here's the framework, right? Now, I call this framework the why now, the why this, the why you. And, you might have seen, you've probably, most templates you've looked at, or great cold emails you've received, they're really just some variation of this, right? But this is why now, why this, why you, right? So here's the framework. It's, hey, name, and then the first part is a reason I'm reaching out. And this could be something generic I was researching your LinkedIn, or I found your company on Google, right? If you're not personalizing the emails, then you could just go with something generic, but you want to have some kind of reason why you're reaching out so that it doesn't just seem like this random thing out of the blue and the person's part of a list, right? I always tell my clients the biggest goal with your cold email is to make it feel like it's actually a person writing it, like it's a real one-to-one conversation. You don't write your cold emails or your outreach templates the same way that you would write marketing copy, like an email newsletter or a Facebook ad or something on your website, right? You're not trying to talk at the person, you're trying to talk to the person, right? So you would start your email the same way that you would start an email to a colleague or someone else in your network, right? It's like, hey, here's why I'm reaching out, right? Here's why I decided to email you. And and it just makes it feel more organic, right? So you can do something generic, of course, but obviously it's better if you do something personalized. Check my most recent post on LinkedIn and Facebook. I talked more about how we're using AI to personalize the first line of an email. But a personalized first line could be like, hey, I saw your LinkedIn post about XYZ, that's why I wanted to reach out. Or I saw your company was hiring for this role, that's why I figured you might be interested in this, right? Or I saw this review you got on Google, or I saw this case study you had, and that made me think, we should talk about whatever, XYZ. But some kind of like reason that prompted you to reach out. So yeah, best case scenario is use AI. You can use Clay to do this really easily. But if you're not using AI to personalize it, or you're not personalizing it yourself by hand, then something generic like I found your company on Google, found your company on LinkedIn. I was researching, niche, like whatever the niche is. Let's say it's construction companies. Oh, I was researching construction companies and found yours, and I thought we should connect, right? Just something to make it feel like it's more organic and you just stumbled across their business. Because at the end of the day, people want to talk to a human, right? They're less, the second someone feels like it's an automated mass blast email campaign, the more likely they are just to tune it out, right? But for me, when I feel like the email was written by a person just to me directly, I'm more willing to give them the time of day because I'm like, okay, this person might have had a legitimate reason to speak to me, right? So, hey, name, reason you're reaching out. Then you want to have, so I'll just go through the rest of the template first. Second is value proposition. This can either be a problem they're having or they might be having, or it could just be an outcome or a result, right? So this is where you would put like your elevator pitch, so to speak, right? That's part 2. Part 3 is social proof. You want evidence to back up your claim. And then soft call to action, right? And by soft call to action, we usually find more success saying like, hey, can I share some info? Or hey, are you having this problem? Or hey, do you want to know more about this, right? Something different than just saying like, hey, do you have free time this Friday, right? Because when you ask directly for the meeting, you're creating a lot of friction because now they have to give up their time, right? So it's harder for them to say yes because it's a bigger commitment. But if you just say like, hey, are you interested to talk about this? Interested to learn more? Do you want to know how this works? Do you want to know how the strategy works? It's much easier for someone to say yes, right? So always try to get more replies first. Once you get people replying to you, then you can like persuade them to have a call with you. But first, just try to get the conversation started, and you'll have a lot more responses. So the framework is reason you're reaching out, value proposition, which can either be, hey, I saw you had this problem, or hey, I work with a lot of people like you that have this problem, or it doesn't have to be problem-based. It can be outcome-based, right? Like, hey, we help, niche get results in time frame, right? So it could just be right to the like how you help, right? So value proposition is part 2. Part 3 is social proof to back it up, right? Because once you make a claim, you have to back it up. You're probably not the first person selling them something like this, right? So you want to back up, that you can actually help them, right? With some sort of social proof. And then a soft call to action, right? So it's just really those 4 things, and you can mix and match them however you want. But those are the 4 things. Like, think about it. That's what someone needs to know, right? So the first part, reason I'm reaching out, is like the why now, right? That's what makes the email feel more relevant, and they should pay attention, and makes it feel more organic, right? The value proposition is like, why should they care, right? So you want to get to the value proposition right away. You want to get, like, at the end of the day, you're a stranger in these people's inbox, right? They don't care about you. They don't have a reason to care about you or your business. Like, you don't even know each other yet, right? So really in that second sentence, get right to the meat of like how you can help them, how you've helped other clients like them, a problem that you either notice. So like if you are doing personalized outreach, maybe you find a specific problem they have, right? Like, hey, I saw you're hiring for, XYZ role, and usually people that are hiring for this role encounter this problem, right? Like whatever it is, if you're actually building a more like specific intent-based list. But if you're not doing a very personalized outreach, you could just state a problem in the industry, right? Such as like, hey, I noticed a lot of people in this, job title. I noticed a lot of CEOs have this problem, and that's what we solve, right? Or that's what we've solved for a competitor like this, right? But basically get right to the meat of either the problem they're having or might be having, or the outcome that you can help them achieve, right? And these can both be blended into one value proposition, right? But again, people only buy something in a B2B sales environment, and really in any sales environment, right? No matter what you're selling, people only buy something because they want to solve a problem or they want to achieve a goal, right? They either want to move away from something that sucks, something painful, or they want to move towards something that's pleasurable, something that'll help them, right? And when it comes to business, it's usually like save time, make more money, save more money, right? Or achieve like a specific company goal or metric, but that's usually, can be boiled down to like save time and make more money, save money, right? Or just make something easier for them, right? Which can be kind of lumped into save time, but like anything you can do that would just make things easier for them, that's also, right, also a good thing. But anyways, you have to get right to the point of like, how can I help this person solve a problem or achieve an outcome? And the more specific, the better, right? You want to really have a very specific outcome, right? I help people in this industry achieve this very specific result. That's going to catch someone's attention a lot more than like, hey, I can help you grow your business, or hey, we're helping busy CEOs save time, right? It's too generic. So get right to the value proposition, and then social proof. Of course, you have to back up your claim, right? Because at the end of the day, you like realize that you're not likely the first person that's tried to sell them something like this. So you have to kind of show like the proof, right? And at the end of the day, the thing about cold email is like it's a little bit easier on LinkedIn when someone can actually like click on your profile and look at all the stuff you've posted and like your client reviews and all that. But when you're sending someone a cold email, it's a little bit impersonal. All they can judge you by is your text, right? You're just all you are to them is basically like a block of text, right? It's not like they're following you on social media and they can see all the stuff you've done. It's not like you're connected on LinkedIn. They can look at your profile on your website, right? Of course, some people will take the effort to look you up or Google your website. But at the end of the day, all you are is a block of text. So you don't really come in with a lot of like authority and social proof. So you have to, in all copy, you should always have social proof, right? But it's especially important with cold email when they don't know you yet, that you instantly say like, I'm credible, I'm an expert, right? And also besides the cold email template, put social proof in your email signature, right? Put like how many clients you've helped. You could put a link to a case study or testimonial. That's really, that's something I don't see a lot of people do, but we do it in all of our outreach, is have additional social proof in your email signature, right? So yeah, you have to, as soon as you make a claim, back it up, right? Back it up with social proof. Social proof can be a specific testimonial or case study. It can be like, hey, I just helped another company like you achieve this specific thing. Would you like to see how they did it, right? So it could be one specific thing. You could also aggregate all your results. So you could say, hey, like in my case, we've helped over 400 agencies and B2B companies with their lead generation and sales. So in my case, instead of, I could either reference a very specific case study of someone like them, or I could just talk about my client results as a whole, right? We've helped 400 plus companies get more leads and get more meetings through cold email, right? Would you like to learn how we could do it for you? So you could aggregate all your results. And it doesn't always have to be client results. It could be even like how long you've been in business. It could be like name dropping a couple of big clients. It's just, social proof is just anything that helps back up your claim and it gives evidence as to why they should believe you, right? So just be creative with it. You're not just limited to like a metric or a client you've helped, right? And then the soft call to action. So again, reason I'm reaching out, value proposition, social proof, call to action. Any possible cold email template that you've seen that has worked on you, or like you've seen other people post that it's worked for them, it's really just some variation of this. So I really want to make this, because everyone's posting cold email templates online, right? And yes, they're valuable, but I really want to just make this to show you like, it's not just about a template. It's really about, what are the underlying principles behind all these outreach templates that worked? What really gets someone's attention in an outreach message? Because then once you know this, then you can keep recreating, new templates for yourself and actually create something that's different and stands out in your industry, right? So that's the framework. And a good way to remember it is why now, why this, and why you, right? Now here's an actual template just to give you an example of like what this could look like, in action. So here's one that's worked pretty well. Hi, first name. Your company caught my attention when I was researching industry. When I did a deep dive on your business, I noticed this problem. You're probably aware of it, but are too busy to solve it. Here's someone else we help solve this problem for, and call to action. So again, this is an example of a template, right, where it's like a little bit more fleshed out, and you could just fill in the blanks with, your industry, your offer, and your social proof, right? Now I'm going to read you two actual real life examples of one personalized email. So this is a real email template, one that's worked very well for one of my clients. And then I'm going to give you a personalized email template and a non-email template. So these are actually real life examples based off of the framework and the template I just shared. So here we go. Hey, Mark, I was reading your website and it looks like you're doing some fantastic work in speech counseling. So again, always show that you've done your research, right? And even if you weren't actually reading their website, this is easy enough to do with a list, right? Just only build it. You don't even need to do anything with AI here, right? You can just build a list and separate it by specific industries, and then you can be able to call out these things in your email, right? So yeah, it's always better to do some personalization, and you can use AI to help. Again, Clay is an amazing tool for this. But if you're not actually doing anything like manually or with AI, you can still make the email feel personalized if you just build like very specific prospect lists, right? So, hey Mark, I was reading your website. Looks like you're doing some fantastic work in speech counseling. I found a few ways you can tweak your digital marketing to increase your ROI and get more patients. I'd love to share these with you. I'd love to lend a hand here if you have room for more patients and are planning to grow this year. I actually used to own a private practice myself, so I know what it's like to be busy and challenged on keeping up with digital marketing and getting a steady stream of new patients. Are you open to getting any help here? So see, right? Like it has the reason I'm reaching out, it has the problem and the value proposition, it has the social proof. Now this is some unique social proof here, right? We didn't actually call out a specific case study, but we just said, hey, I grew my own private practice just like yours, so I know what this is like, right? So definitely a unique form of social proof there. And then the soft call to action, which is one of my favorites, is are you open to getting any help here, right? So that's an example of the template in action, right? And here's another one that's super, super personalized. So here we go. So yeah, I'm going to read it right for you here. This is the personalized example. Hey James, I found you from LinkedIn and saw your post about lead quality. That was such a refreshing view on the subject. I feel like it's not talked about enough, and most people are just playing the numbers game, which is going out of style, right? So the reason you're reaching out, personalization, giving your own kind of commentary, that's going to go a long way. After browsing your Glassdoor, I saw that you were hiring 3 sales reps. That's exciting. If I could help make sure your new sales reps are twice as productive and generate more revenue without needing you to spend any additional time training them, would you be interested to at least learn how, right? So again, totally different template here, but every successful cold email, you can kind of reverse engineer those 4 points, right? From the original framework. It's the why now, right? Why I'm reaching out to you. I saw your post. Makes it feel a lot more organic. Why this? You get right to the value prop with the, I saw you're hiring new sales reps, right? And I can help them make you twice as productive without having to spend time training them, right? That's pretty appealing. And then call to action. The one thing is this example here doesn't really have any social proof. Again, we would usually put social proof at least in the email signature and in the follow-up emails. But again, if you at least have 3 out of these 4 elements nailed really well, like this is a great email because it's going to stand out anyway because it has amazing personalization, right? And a very, very specific value proposition. So if you get at least 3 of the 4 pieces of the framework done really well, you can still get the job done. Sometimes, like in some cases, I've received emails that like go totally off script and don't even have like more than 2 of these framework elements in them, but they're still really good. So always get creative, right? You can always go outside of these rules, and if you just write a really good email, it can still work. But as a good rule of thumb, like keep these 4 framework elements in mind. But good example of how even if you don't have one of the 4 elements, you can still have a really great email if the other parts are well done. But yeah, how I would make this one better is I would have definitely put a case study like, hey, we helped a similar company to yours, reduce their ramp time for their SDRs by 50%, something like that, right? So that's how I would have made this one better. But anyways, that is our winning framework and a couple examples. Now I have this document here, which is we have a 42-page Cold Outreach Playbook here. This is actually from our online course and from, like what I usually work with our consulting clients on. I figured I would give this away. I don't want to give it away to everyone because I think it's not fair to the clients who have paid for this. And consulting clients, like this is really reserved for their eyes only. Again, if we give all this away to the masses, then that means everyone's going to use all the templates, right? But I figured I want to do something fun for you all here. So I'm willing to give away this 42-page document of all of our best cold email and LinkedIn DM templates and frameworks and examples from almost every niche you could imagine to 3 people that are watching or listening to this right now. So what you want to do is if you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn, just comment below templates, and I'm going to pick 3 people at random to give away our complete Cold Outreach Playbook for. And if you're listening to this on the podcast or somewhere else, then just go to my LinkedIn or Facebook, and you'll see just posted really recently, and just comment below templates, and I'll give you this whole book, right? So we're going to pick 3 people that commented to give this massive resource away to. And just comment below templates, and we'll pick 3 people within a week to actually get the full book here. And then you'll have a complete playbook just to launch all of your outreach campaigns in the future. So there's a lot of stuff here that we basically been building for, basically 3 years ago we started this document. And every time we make a new template that works, then we put it in here. So anyways, hope you can win that little giveaway here. But if not, at least you know the core underlying framework that'll help you create any great outreach template, no matter who you're targeting, what you're selling, and what platform you're on. These are the underlying elements of a great cold outreach message. Now, if you want my team to actually help you with this, if you're like, hey, I really want to scale cold email or outbound, but I don't have time to do it myself, or maybe you do have time to do it yourself, but you want an expert to show you so that you can just do it faster and better, reach out to me. I'll put my link below to book a call. And if you want to actually get some expert help to really make sure you can crush it, then I'm happy to chat further. So anyways, thanks for listening, and wishing you all the success with your future outbound campaigns.